Don't know the power.
The math is unfootable.
Fusion reaction.
Oh, hell yeah.
Get to the chopper!
Price go up.
Gigantic fusion reactor that just works.
Multiple income streams and real yield.
Ooh, yeah!
Jeeps can no longer dump on your heads. The revolutionary decentralized finance protocol. Fusion reaction in T-minus 3, 2, 1.
Fusion! You don't know the power.
The math is unfootable.
Fusion reaction.
Oh, hell yeah.
The mothership.
And what's it gonna do?
Everybody excited.
Oh, hell yeah.
Give my creation. Fusion.
Get ready to rumble.
Fusion.
Gotta do a huge shout out to Cool Sheet. That song just hits.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to EMP.Money. This is our bi-weekly live stream. We come to you every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. Another very productive week and a lot to go over in the EMP ecosystem. But before we get to all that, I want to introduce my co-host with the most and fellow team member, LA. LA, how are you?
I'm fantastic. Hey, everybody.
Awesome. So yeah, we're gonna jump right into it again on time today. So that's a bonus. This new format's been working out really well. So we can come to you right on the dot. And yeah, I mean today's gonna be a lot of overview on Fusion Watch. A lot of you been super bullish on that. Some development updates and what's to expect over the next few weeks as we continue to push the momentum with Fusion. So, all right, before we jump into any of that, or all of that rather, also please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That really helps. Again, the algorithm and the viewership has been really growing now that we're able to stream to both YouTube and X. So, all right, awesome. LA, anything you want to talk about before we jump right in?
Not particularly. I think we're ready to roll.
All right, awesome. And again, before we do that, one last thing too is as we are going through this, please make sure if you do have a question to write it in the chat, whether that is on YouTube or on X as we are streaming. The comments will show up. We can answer the questions as we go through or at the very end if we aren't able to cover it in the meantime. So, all right, again, just another great week. We've had an amazing coming together, so to speak, as a community. The sentiment has been really great over the last few weeks. PEG has been on the rise. Markets are looking good. This is really the beginning of, I think, a real catalyst event in the flywheel, as we call it, and ultimately the supply shock of EMP itself. So things are really coming together. obviously, we would love to have it happen quicker, but slowly but surely, we are looking really good. And this is all in spite of ETH dropping down over the last about 36 hours. ETH was on a massive run up. Peg was moving with it. We saw a sell off on ETH. Obviously, that will bring the price of EMP down with it. But Peg remained relatively steady, which again is a great sign because Peg is solely determined on the buying and selling pressure of EMP, not necessarily ETH. So again, and we've already seen a bit of a recovery on the markets too. Bitcoin's looking good over the last few hours. So again, although we've said all along there's going to be volatility, I do think we're at the beginning of the real bull run, and we could see some great momentum in all of crypto over the next few months for sure. So again, Peg is heading in the right direction, and also another for those that have been paying attention, eShare is up. We had some great buying pressure yesterday on eShare. eShare was up like almost 25% over a few hours last night, and now it's still up for the 24-hour period. So again, don't sleep on eShare because of the low liquidity. It is very volatile, but we could see easily 20-30% price gains on eShare in a matter of hours. So again, really, really bullish stuff. So we're also working really well as a community in getting people to sacrifice around some incentives that we launched, and also getting that supply shock that we all want much faster. So LA, you want to talk a little bit about that and all the bullish aspects of the community coming together right now?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just been incredible to see the community spearheaded challenges taking off, this new competition that we've got going on, and it's fierce so far. It's really making an incredible difference. And we're well on our way to reaching that mega supply shock zone. So they've just been absolutely amazing. We've had 100,000 EMP sacrificed in the last week, 414,000 in the last month, 1.69 million EMP sacrificed in the last 3 months. And what all that means is we're 15% of the way there to our moon challenge, which is the zone where we'll hit that mega supply shock. And we already see it happening very slowly. That, the other day when ETH was booming, but then it took a hit, the EMP chart stayed going up for a long time. It was very strong, even though ETH was going down. And that shows us that, this supply shock is working. And the more that we get sacrificed, the less and less there is in the paper handers' hands and possession. And so there's 12,000 EMP up for grabs every week. We have this new competition that kicked off, and it will keep going for at least the next several weeks. So regardless of the size of your wallet, you have the opportunity to win, because one of the two challenges is based on the overall percentage by which your position inside Fusion increases over the week through your sacrifices. And then, of course, there's another category for the largest sack of the week.
Yeah, 100%. So I have it pulled up here. Again, two categories. One is, again, a little catered towards the whales, so to speak, and the other is catered to really the minnows. Honestly, it's easier for minnows to win the top gainers than it is for whales. So we purposely split it out into two categories that really is fair to everybody, and we've seen a ton of momentum already. It just so happens that the number one wallet is the same for each of these, because that person went absolutely ham on this rollout. But over time, that'll really even out, and there should be totally different winners for the top three of each. And yeah, I mean, just a 400% gain to that person, shout out to them again, going really, like I said, heavy in Fusion and taking advantage of the EMP that's up for grabs as a prize. So we really love to see the community just doing this organically. But now that we have all the metrics with Fusion Watch, we are putting some EMP up for grabs to really even further speed up the process. So if you are new to EMP, or maybe you know somebody that would like to be involved in Fusion, this is also a great time to get them excited because they can again help bolster their bags with a little more EMP if they were to win the weekly prizes. So, and again, the challenge, like Ellie mentioned, we're still only half of the way through the week, and we're seeing some great results. 53,000 EMP sacrificed in just the last few days, and week after week, that all adds up, and that's all that matters because once we get to that 2.5 million number of the actual supply shock coming into play, and it could happen even quicker than that, but this is just a really conservative metric, and just in the last 2 weeks, we're already over 15% of the way there. So I think this will happen a lot sooner than people may think. And remember, when the FOMO starts kicking in, by then it's too late. In other words, all of you that may have not had a chance to DCA or build your bags, you're going to be FOMOing with everybody else and may not get as good a price as you could get right now in terms of stack points. So, all right,
Agreed.
awesome. Yeah, right, Ellie? Yeah, go ahead. You want to add to that?
Yeah. Yeah, we do. I will say we do have a little bit of work to do together on the community challenge for this week. We're only at 32%, and it's Thursday, so we got to pull up our socks, guys, and continue working together. One thing that I don't want to see is people only now participating for the challenge and then getting discouraged if there's a really big sack and someone's in the lead by a measure, because let's not forget about our community challenges and how much closer we're getting to our moon goal, our moon challenge goal, when we all work together, whether it's sacrificing 100 EMP a day or 2,000 EMP a day or 10,000 EMP a day, whatever you can per day, per week. If we're all working together, we are going to continue hitting those goals. And we've created this amazing momentum. And the competitions are absolutely amazing, but we all win when we all work together because we're getting closer and closer to making it so simple and easy to get back to peg.
Yeah, 100%. And while I'm on this page, this might come up in some of the questions later on, but I wanted to draw attention to something because I'm still seeing a lot of questions, in the day-to-day chats. And this little info tab right here is so awesome because these three things are just so you should be looking at this every day. So the info tab right here in the bottom right, this is where we are in terms of peg. um, this down here is the bonus that you get in sacrificing. And this right here is what I want to draw attention to. The middle one, the sack price. So this is the fair market value of the sack price, sack point price. So what that means is a lot of you are still confused on the marketplace, but you can cross-reference, and again, we're working on doing this as a UI update, with color codes to know if you're getting a good deal. But we've seen a ton of transactions on the secondary marketplace over the last week too, and um, that does factor into your microgrid gain. So just be aware of that. Obviously, buying off the market and sacrificing is better, but this is a great way to kind of figure out a fair market price so you're not getting taken advantage of in the secondary market. And honestly, there's a lot of great deals as well. So keep an eye on that and load up where you can. And remember, you need eShare to be able to buy that. So yet another reason to have a bag of eShare at the ready at these low prices. So, all right, awesome. LA, let me go and pull up my notes again, and we can go over some other stuff. But go ahead. Do you want to go on to the next topic?
I did want to just reiterate some of the rules for the competition.
Perfect.
And so any EMP that's won cannot be sold, traded, or transferred. If you are found to do any of these actions, you will be banned from ever entering again. The EMP1, though, can be sacrificed into Fusion to grow your position. So if you're strategic, you'll be able to use that to your advantage to win the following week or another week. There are things that are baked in to make it fair. So the same wallet cannot win more than 3 consecutive weeks without them being prevented from winning for a 2-week cooldown period. And we have had just tremendous effort into these competitions so far, but it is still anyone's game because it's going on till Sunday before it resets for the following week. So let's keep this amazing momentum going. And it's so incredible to see the community working together and having fun, and also for us to be able to pay it forward and reward those of you who are supporting the protocol. So let's continue to work together to reach this week's community challenge. And remember that there's still a 6x peg bonus on sacrifices. And so while ETH is dipped back down, now's really the time to milk this sweet spot that we're in, where we can get the maximum amount of peg bonus for our sacrifice, where we can win these competitions, where we can work together to hit our community goals. And then also just that there's a reminder that eShare is still extremely low, even though we see it going up. So now could be a great time to stock up on eShare as well. I know AJ just kind of listed a few reasons that eShare can come in handy. And with such a low supply of eShare, it is bound to one day head back up. We don't know when, but I personally plan to hold on to mine and continue building up my stockpile.
For sure. Yeah, 100%. Again, I know there was some chatter in the socials today on a new challenge of owning 1% of the supply on eShare. And at
Ooh la
these
la.
lower, yeah, no doubt, LA, at these lower prices, that's actually really doable. And we've said this many times. I mean, and this applies to even more crypto, OG crypto knowledge overall, whether it's inside of EMP or not. Your goal should, if you have a project that you love, that you trust the devs, that don't think it's gonna rug, or there is a track record like ours with never having an exploit. The ultimate goal on anything that you get into is owning at least 1% of the supply. And again, that's been something that has really helped me DCA my own personal funds. And if you can own 1% or more, and that project ends up taking off, you're doing really, really well. So that applies again to microgrid ownership and eShare as well. But all right, awesome. And yeah, I mean the numbers too, they aren't really as big as you would think. Let me pull this up from Grover. So again, just a tidbit of info. An $850 EMP sacrifice will knock the top sacrifice leader from first place. So again, it's the death by 1,000 cuts, where we're talking many community members getting involved under $1,000. Again, I realize that is a lot of money for some people, and but it may not be hardly any money for other people. So the whole point is that if all of us are rowing in the same direction, sacrificing, 10, 100, $1,000 worth of EMP, that is what really gets us to that supply shock even faster. So we're not talking, tens of thousands of dollars sacrifice to be able to win some of these prize pools. So that to me again is super bullish. But all right,
That is really
yeah,
good. And I wanted to remember to address one thing.
for sure.
There's been a lot of questions as to why the community challenge is only showing, let me see what it shows at the moment. Let me refresh my page. Why it's only showing 53.47K EMP sacrificed, but yet when you go to the leaderboard where the top guns are, there's, you know, a 49K sack points, 39K, 39K, 36K, 32K. The reason for that, I just gave a little hint, is because on the top guns, it is sacrifice points, and that's what it's based on. Whereas the community challenge is based on how many EMP have been sacrificed, and that's where the difference comes in. So if you were wondering that, I just wanted to answer that for you because there was a couple people asking that in the group throughout the week.
Perfect. Yep, another great point. And again, you know, we do our best to show all the analytics to give you the full picture. But yeah, there is some nuance as well. But either way, everything that's pulled on Fusion Watch is actual on-chain data, and that again is so bullish because you know those that were able to see this before Fusion Watch knew you know, the light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. But now that we have it displayed in a really easy to understand manner, and all of those numbers are actually pulled from the on-chain data, it's a win-win for everybody. So again, shout out to everybody that pulled it off. John, Grover, all the beta testers. Right, LA? I know again,
Yes.
we try to get everybody to be as you know proficient as possible. But even me, man, I don't even like to go and look at you know through thousands of transactions and all the
No.
unchecked data. So this makes it way easier.
Yes, and that actually is a great segue into our next point, which is John has added tools on the back end for us to be able to analyze a lot more data in the easiest, quickest way possible. And outside of the automated system we had already built in, we now have even more tools to detect wallets that are not following the systems the way that they're suggested, and therefore do not have the privilege of using the battery any longer. Now, I want to reemphasize that word privilege. It is a privilege to use this battery, and it can be refunded at any time. And we have just refunded 10 more wallets that were simply not using it the way that is suggested with the continuous gain strategy. Now, it is completely fair because it's not us sifting through thousands of transactions and manually deciding who isn't following the strategy. It is now both an automated system and another whole layer on top of that to detect even quicker. And it's just a simple fact. If people are not following the continuous gain strategy, if they are using it to withdraw ETH and then never sacrificing again, or just sacrificing an incredible amount less than they're withdrawing, they will not have the privilege of using the battery again. And so, as much as it may seem like a piss off, it's literally a ironclad system. And so it's not us that are just randomly deciding you aren't following the system.
Yeah, 100%, LA. And again, we've gone into this in detail on a few of the earlier AMAs, but I'm happy to kind of reiterate what LA said. And remember that even though we're using the word blacklist, you are getting your purchase price refunded. So it's not like you're just you know out of luck, so to speak. This is simply just a way to govern that people are doing the right thing, and this only really applies when we are this far below peg. Again, if you want to utilize this battery to cash out of the ecosystem, you're much better off just listing your microgrid on the secondary market. Again, I said it a little earlier in this AMA, we've seen a ton of volume on the secondary market. So people are buying microgrids at or slightly below market value. And that is a much easier way to not only get out of Fusion, fast, but it also is much better for the ecosystem. So I would highly encourage all of you to do that instead. As we start recovering, though, we will expand the restrictions, so to speak, on this battery, and it could be a really cool way to, essentially cash out of the ecosystem, whether it's through the peg battery or the secondary market. And remember, it's bullish because you have to actually burn your sacrifice points to uh to use the battery. So again, it still is a deflationary mechanism on ownership and sac points. It's just we have to kind of really tighten the reins for now because we are so far below peg. And the whole point of the battery is, well, the 2 points are: number one is to make it where you actually realize your dashboard money, so to speak. But the more important aspect is peg recovery. And that, again, is what we need to focus on at the moment. And if you were, blacklisted and refunded, then you're welcome to buy again and try again. But just know that if you don't fix, the issues, that it will happen over and over and over again. So, yeah, we finally have a really great system in place. And, as much as, like Ellie said, it may piss some people off, it is much better for the greater good of the community. And, again, even the people that want to utilize the battery incorrectly, those are the same people that want us to get to peg quicker. So, we're even though we may be kind of, governing, like I said, the end goal is the same for everybody. So, just want to go into that a bit more. And then one more thing I wanted to just recap on before we have a few more questions and we can start to wrap it up a little bit early tonight. But the whole idea is that once we are back to peg, that is when we really start seeing the payouts in Fusion coming back or coming higher. We see a healthier e-share price. Again, I just wanted to talk about one more time the three-step process. And that is step number one is to get as much EMP sacrificed into Fusion as possible and ultimately start to recover peg. Step number two is that we are at peg and able to maintain peg. That is when we see the APR in Fusion start to skyrocket. And again, the health of eShare uh, uh, come back as well. And that is when I think a lot of the hype and a lot of the FOMO from even outside our community will really start to happen. And we still have, a phase two marketing plan that when we do recover pay, not if, but when, uh, we're able to capitalize on that momentum as well over the next few months. And again, bring new users into the ecosystem because the APRs will be attractive. And the final phase, or phase three, is that there is no more EMP on the market. And the only way to get into Fusion is buying somebody else's microgrid off the secondary market. And if the APRs are so good and nobody wants to sell because they're making amazing passive income with Fusion, then that is when things get really, really spicy because we could see the actual value of your microgrid go above and beyond the peg ratio price. So that is again the actual game plan based on supply and demand and math that will get us to where we all want to be in a very specific way. So LA, does that make sense? I just wanted to go over the three-step plan. I feel like we're starting an AA group. So yeah.
No, absolutely makes sense. And we've all been on this journey to get back to peg together. And then we very much so can start to put that next laser focus attack on eShare price, on APRs, on attracting new members outside of the community. There's so many goals. And when we have our eye on a goal, it is laser focus on that goal. And so we need to all continue rowing in that same direction, in that big, powerful boat. And we will get there. And then we'll move on to that next goal and we'll get there too.
100%. I love it. All right, awesome. And Grover, again, thanks for backing us up. We need to have Grover on as a third host at this point. He said a bit of info. If your wallet address is flagged as yellow or red on the Peg Battery leaderboard, you are being watched for incorrect use, and that can be fixed by sacrificing. So, yeah, back to my point earlier, not only do we have bots that monitor this, but now it's also being displayed in the UI of Fusion Watch. So if you've ever wondered why some of the wallets show up as red or yellow, that is a warning signal to those of you that may be utilizing the battery exchange incorrectly, and gives you an opportunity to fix it. So again, that's a bit of info, Grover, for sure. And even more to the reason why we're not ruling with an iron fist. We're just simply trying to encourage everybody to do the right thing. And if you don't do the right thing after essentially being warned and being responsible, then we will take that next step. So
And I want to take that back what you just said a little bit, because we won't
for
send
sure.
out warnings. It will be the system that flags you, and if the behavior is not following the strategy, you will receive a refund.
Yeah, no, 100%. When I say warning, I mean through what Grover is talking about. You'll be able to see that your wallet is red or yellow. So that is your warning. We're not reaching out to people on chain. So
I just wanted to make that super clear, because
for sure.
I don't want someone writing to me next week saying, "But you never warned me."
Yeah, 100%. You will see it on the UI of Fusion Watch. So
And
even more, yeah.
you can make AJ and I out to be the bad guys if you want. That's totally cool. But 99.9% of people are using the continuous gain strategy. And I mean, I had someone reach out to me concerned about the number of times that the people at that top of that list have been able to sacrifice. But I have looked into those wallets multiple times, and they're not flagged. They're following the system, and that's why they've been able to successfully continue to use the battery, because they're following the systems. And so those people having used the battery 20 plus times, it's great for the ecosystem, because they are sacrificing that EMP, and more is being taken off the market.
Yeah, for sure. And I agree. Like we get some people that are still frustrated that they can't take advantage of the battery. Maybe they bought it, but for whatever reason, they don't have the alarm set up through Fusion Watch. Again, that's another really great tool. We went over that in the last AMA. But the whole idea is that we will absolutely continue to try and make it more and more fair for everybody. But to LA's point, those that have been able to really take full advantage of this battery in the right way, that is why we've seen peg recovery. That is why we've seen massive numbers, sacrificed into fusion on a consistent basis. I mean, again, the proof is all there on how bullish this battery is, and we'll always be adding batteries as well. Again, we're at a point right now. We have a lot on our plate at the moment, with Honor First Madness coming up, DexSwap, a lot of loose ends that we need to get tied up over the next month or so. But then after that, we absolutely will be putting another round of improvements in Fusion as well. So cool. All right.
Amazing.
Awesome. All right. Well, that really is that really the end of our notes for today. Again, these AMAs will start being a little bit shorter because we're breaking off and doing a full AMA on Honor versus Madness, which is coming up right after this live stream at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays. We have a big one tonight as well as we get closer and closer to TGE. Everything's really heating up. So make sure that you tune into that. But LA, is there any other questions from Discord or anything else we forgot to go over tonight that you wanted to bring up?
No, I was just having a look, and we don't actually have any on Discord. I don't know if there's any more in this chat. I see one at the bottom here. I'm not exactly sure what you mean, LMFG, about being flagged or not being flagged over that. It really doesn't matter how many wallets or batteries you have. It's about the behavior being implemented in the use of those batteries. And it sounds like you're not using them, so I don't think you have anything to worry about.
Yep, 100%. So I would agree. That's what I got out of this question. And let us know if we need to clarify. But yeah, if you bought 3 batteries and just haven't had the time to use them or the opportunity, then you're good to go. No worries. You will not be, negatively impacted on that just for it not being used. And again, I mean, you already spent it, so you might as well keep it and be able to utilize it in the future because as we really start going towards peg, we will open up the restrictions a little bit more, and that is another factor in other people that may not have been able to utilize the battery now being able to utilize. So
Awesome.
cool.
We have another one popping up from Adam. Has the percentage of revenue from DexSwap to Fusion been announced?
Yes, that's a great question. We have not officially announced this yet, Adam, but again, assuming the same, split that we had with SparkSwap, obviously there is a little more mouths to feed when it comes to Cedo and continuing to build out all the multi-chain aspects of DexSwap. But again, I can go off record and say it will be very comparable. So we'll have all of that info released when we actually announce the tokenomics for the Dex token. But yeah, we rest assured that everything that we build, whether it's with DexFi directly, I mean we are essentially the same team now, so everything goes to feed each other. For the same reason we have revenue feeding Fusion, some of that revenue will also ultimately feed GDEX as well. So again, nobody is left in the cold, and we'll have a full breakdown once we have the official tokenomics.
Amazing. And I actually want to add to that question. So, although the split may very likely be the exact same, it's a whole different ballpark
For
because
sure.
we have the ability to now consolidate all of our dev efforts, all of our marketing efforts, the full budget of the treasuries from all of those projects into one. And when I say all of those projects, I'm not talking about Fusion, I'm talking about SparkSwap, SedoSwap, all of those. And so we have plans to do a big marketing push around DexSwap. And we have one set of socials to promote. We have one set of groups to promote on Telegram and Discord. We have, a dev team that has their focus on that one project as opposed to 3 or 4. And so they have more time to focus on DexSwap and Fusion and GDEX. And
For sure.
yeah, and so the consolidation of all of those efforts and budgets really has the potential to put DexSwap in the spotlight and bring in new users. And the fact that it's going to be multi-chain and one day span across quite a few chains, it has the ability to potentially in the future bring in a lot more revenue than SedoSwap and SparkSwap were individually. And yeah, I think that's all I can say. I'm stumbling on my words a little bit.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think you brought up an amazing point, and yeah, what again? I'll kind of give another analogy. LA is famous for her pizza analogies, but essentially, even if the percentage would be lower than 10%, in a hypothetical situation, the fact that we are going to be able to generate way more fees and way more volume outweighs that. So in other words, 10% of $10,000 a day, or say 5% of $100,000 a day. Obviously, the second option is way more revenue coming to Fusion and GDEX and any other things that we need to feed, buy and burn of the DexSwap token itself. I mean, the whole point is by going through this merger and becoming, one, consolidated multi-chain DEX. And again, the efficiency that LA just mentioned in terms of dev time, marketing, all of that saves us money in the long run, which essentially means more money to be used as, revenue share. So yeah, totally, LA.
For sure. And any percentages or anything we're throwing out right now are simply just examples that we're pulling out for the sake of doing quick math on this stream. So if
For
you do
sure.
want any reminders of what the current structure is inside SparkSwap, you can go ahead and visit the docs for SparkSwap. You can find them linked on the SparkSwap site. But that being said, as we get closer to the release of DexSwap, we will have that highlighted probably in our docs, if not in a written post and on the AMAs for EMP as we get closer.
I love it. Yep, 100%. So, all right. Well, I think again that really wraps it up. We have over 100 viewers now. Shout out to all of you for being here. Again, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If there aren't any last minute questions, we can start to wrap it up. I see that Cool Sheet says Diamond Nips. So yeah, shout out to Cool Sheet. He is the one that does our intro video. So and literally a day one emperor. So shout out to you, Cool Sheet. Thanks for being here. And yeah, thanks for all of you for supporting and sharing and all of the above. This again, new format is working really, really well. But
Yes.
LA, anything you want to add before we wrap it up? Go ahead.
I will say tonight is one that you'll definitely want to attend for our next AMA, our Honor versus Madness one in 1 hour from now. So try your best to go take a break and then come back and view it live, especially if you think you might have any questions. It's going to be quite an important one. And I just want to thank everyone for being here and continuing to support each other, us, the protocol, and we brag all the time about the incredible community that we have. We were just, in fact, doing an interview yesterday, and we just gushed about the incredible community we have and everyone's support and how it's affected our projects in an extremely positive way. So we always want to just give a shout out to all of you and a thank you to all of you. We're very grateful to have such a positive, amazing, supportive community. And we are truly all building this together and all reaching our goals together every step of the way. So I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, 100% LA. I second all of that. And remember, as we continue to grow and have the track record that we do have, it makes us a pillar in the DeFi community. Again, we have been around for going on 3 years now. No exploits, 100% uptime. I mean, stuff that other protocols just cannot say. And a lot of that is because of this amazing community. Again, if everybody would have just given up and abandoned EMP in the depths of the bear market, a year and a half ago, we definitely wouldn't be where we are today. So shout out to all of you for having that uh, long-term vision, that intestinal fortitude, the unwavering, commitment and support to what we're doing. And again, I think we're finally going to see all of those efforts pay off now that we have a really amazing system with Fusion. EMP is now hyper deflationary. We have exposure to Ethereum, literally everything you would want to see in a DeFi project, passive income, we have here. So, and you don't have to worry about waking up tomorrow and having everything disappear. So, get the word out, continue to help us share the message. Please share these videos. of our AMAs. Again, we're super transparent and available. Another thing that other teams don't do. And yeah, we're excited for what the next few weeks and the next few months and even the next few years are going to hold for us. So, all right, thanks, LA. Remember, we come to you every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. LA, any final words? Go ahead.
You rock.
Yes, you all rock. I love it. So, all right, we'll see you all over on the Universe Madness AMA, and we will see you on Monday for the next EMP AMA. So, good night, good day, have a great weekend, everybody. Much love. Bye bye.